Hey, I'm Court McCutcheon. I'm the principal at Texas Select Insurance Group here in San Angelo. I wanted to talk about something today that gets a lot of business owners in trouble. Cheap insurance versus good insurance. Because on paper, cheap insurance looks great. It's a lower premium, smaller check, right? It feels like a win. But after doing this for a long time, I can tell you this with confidence. The cheapest policy is rarely the best policy. And most people don't find out until there's a claim. So in this video, I want to walk you through where cheap policies usually cut corners, what good policies actually do differently, and how to spot the difference before it costs you real money. So why does a cheap policy feel right? Well, I get why people chase cheap insurance. Insurance doesn't feel like it does anything. You write a check and hope you never use it. But as a business owner, you're constantly deciding where to spend your money. Payroll, equipment, marketing, rent. Insurance feels like an easy place to save. And if nothing ever happens, cheap insurance feels brilliant. But insurance isn't about today. It's about when something goes wrong. Where cheap policies cut corners. Cheap policies usually save money in the same places. First, it's your deductible. Lower premiums often mean much higher deductible, especially on wind and hail in Texas. People see the premium number and never really process what they'll owe out of pocket. The second coverage, cheap policies often strip out endorsements that matter for your industry. Contractors, real estate investors, retail businesses, all of them have specific risks that need specific coverage. So the third thing that cheap policies, a lot of times we see exclusions. So this is the big one. Exclusions are what policies quietly say, we don't cover that. And most people don't read them. When I'm talking about when we say exclusions are what most people don't read, most people read the front page of the deck page followed by the price. What you should be doing is turning those pages over and look on the back or the third, fourth page into the policy. That'll list your exclusions. Those are the first things you should read when you look at an insurance policy. What's the real cost of cheap? We say this all the time in insurance. There's never a problem until there's a problem. You can carry a certificate. You can satisfy all the contracts. You can feel covered. Then a claim happens. That's when people find out their deductible is way higher than they thought. The claim is partially denied. The coverage doesn't apply. Or the carrier fights them every step of the way. That's when cheap insurance gets very expensive. What does good insurance look like? A good policy is built around your business. It accounts for what you actually do, where you operate, how you make money, what would shut you down. Good policies don't eliminate risk. They make it survivable. They're boring until you need them, then they're priceless. Why comparing price alone doesn't work? One of the biggest mistakes I see is comparing policies by premium only. Two policies can look very similar and be completely different. They've got different deductibles, they've got different exclusions, different claim behavior. It's just not a fair comparison. Price without context doesn't tell you anything. How we think about value at Texas Select. At Texas Select, we're not trying to sell the cheapest policy. We're trying to sell the right policy. That means matching the right carrier to the right risk. We got to explain trade-offs clearly, making sure deductibles are survivable. And you got to think that long-term, not just renewal to renewal, right? So our job is to help you stay in business, not just save a few dollars today, albeit we might save a few dollars. So if you're a business owner, don't ask what's the cheapest policy. Ask what happens when something goes wrong. Take a look at those exclusions, right? If you want help reviewing what you have or understanding those options, that's exactly what we do. Reach out, drop a question in the comments. We're happy to walk through it with you.